A lot of new stuff. I haven't watched the last one, just because I don't think it's been published yet, but I'm definitely gonna try
Last
to
one
get to
from
it.
yesterday?
Yeah, is it up already?
I think it's up. Should be.
Okay.
Hasn't populated on mine either just yet.
No. Okay. I'll check with Mark on that one. But it should have been uploaded. I thought I saw it earlier actually.
It's in there.
Yeah, I thought so. Mark, you muted
What's that you looking for?
the questions. I mean not the questions. The video from yesterday.
It's there. Did it this
Okay.
morning. Just refresh or check the playlist, but it's in there.
Okay, sounds good.
Y'all see?
Oh, I like it.
Wow. That's awesome.
Hello.
What's
All
up,
right,
Man,
Mr.
that was
09?
quick.
No more CNC in the back.
Okay, like I said, we give everybody to about 6:10.
Hey, Mark, what do you think about that QQQ call you signaled? How you feeling about that?
Bro, I'm sick about it because I had to run to Sam's to get my medicine before the pharmacy closed. And then I saw MongoDB fell through the dirt. MongoDB fell. Zscaler, I thought did okay. And then Marvell fell through the dirt. So I bought that call out a few days. So if Broadcom doesn't do anything tomorrow, bro, I'm fried because I think QQQ closed at 501.27 post
Yeah.
market. And those are some 503s, I think. But I think they don't expire to the 13th.
Yeah, I got the same one. I'm holding on.
No, they expire on the 11th. So I might DCA it tomorrow. I don't know. It really just depends on the price action at Broadcom.
Do they have earnings tomorrow?
Broadcom does, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you know that IV is gonna kill you.
Yeah, I got some lottos on Broadcom. I paid like $1.23 for.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but I'm in some MDB calls out to July, I think, that I played for earnings. I may actually DCA them because I see the long-term potential since I got a lot of time on it. So we shall see.
Yeah, I got the 504 calls for 311. So I'm sitting on those right now.
Yeah, we're in the same one. I got 3 of them. Oh.
Likewise.
And I'm gonna get to your question today. Like I said, I didn't see it in the Discord. Usually, I just want you all to put any questions in the chat if you're gonna type them. But I'll get to that shortly after the presentation.
I had a random question.
Yes.
It's just kind of random. I clicked on this button by accident the other day, but does anybody actually ever use the 1 second? I know Neil uses the 15 second, but I by accident clicked the 1 second, had a little bit of an anxiety attack. I was like, why is this moving so quick? When I was really trying to click the 10-minute, but it kind of just happened. But does anybody really use that?
Some people use the 1 and the 5 for quick scalps for sure.
Man, I don't even think Robinhood could execute that fast.
Keyword, Robinhood. Yeah, but some people do use those lower time frames for quick scalps.
I do have a question on support and resistance. If
Okay, we're gonna get into some of that.
Okay, cool.
So just save it for that moment when I have the chart pulled up.
Got it.
Cool. And then we talked about that in the. Have you got a chance to watch the other videos that you missed yet?
Except for the one that was posted this morning.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, we went into that a little bit, but again, we'll go back over it, no problem.
Cool.
Ant has some questions about swinging. I think he wants. I was looking at levels from a swing perspective, so I am going to go into that. Neil and I are going to go into that.
And
Let's say it's about 6:10. Say what, Neil?
can somebody just say something in the chat? I just want to see something.
You said something.
Right, I know. Okay, there we go. Because it says, due to a large number of participants in this meeting, system messages for those who joined or left have been disabled. So I wasn't sure what that meant.
But I have the package where I can support a lot of people. So thank you for testing that out. Maybe that's around the time I turned the waiting room off. So maybe it has something to do with that.
Oh, okay. Do you have the AI companion on too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we're recording already too.
Okay.
I just went ahead and did it, so I would have that. How was everybody feeling? Hey, Jody, how you doing? Steph, how you doing? Tony, Jess, Erica, how's everybody?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you.
Hi, King. I'm in the office, but I'm listening.
Okay. Whoa, Erica, we got you.
Whoa. No camera yet, though.
Okay. Jody, did you say something?
Oh, just happy to finally make this live, finally. Been
Ah,
traveling so much for work. I'm trying to catch up at night on the recording, so.
I really hate when work gets in the way of money.
No kidding.
Don't worry, I'm gonna replace you soon.
I have something, King.
Jessica, what's up?
I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed.
Oh,
Why? What happened?
keyword.
Because I worked all day yesterday and I listened to the Zoom yesterday, and I was so excited to get home yesterday evening to rewatch yesterday, and it wasn't available.
Oh yeah, well, once it's downloaded, then we uploaded it this morning, but it's there now.
Okay, because I was gonna have some questions ready, but I don't have any.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm sure you'll develop some.
Hey, Jessica, I take full responsibility for that. In the evening times, I really have to clock in and be husband and dad, so I can't get back to the office until the morning, or I'm gonna be sleeping outside with the dog. So just so I can maintain the balance between trading, I have to wait until I'm in work mode. You see what I'm saying? Or y'all don't want me homeless out here.
I got it. I was just joking.
No, she was just joking because she was gonna have some questions based on the videos. But at least you got through the other ones. And yeah, we have to wait for them to download and then we can transfer them. And like I said, and by that time, when we got off of here last night, usually it's pretty late if we have a lot of questions. And yeah, Mark was already in Bible study, so cool. So it's 6:11. I said 6:10. So I want to get going. How y'all feel about that? Oh, it's 32 people. The committee says yes.
Yep, ready when you are.
Yes.
Ready, ready.
Let's do it.
Good.
Perfect. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with I want to talk to you all about some trading psychology tips, right? We talked about this before, but I want to give you all some tips as we get closer to the end. Just some things that I like to use. So it won't be too long. It's just literally a list of tips, and we'll go through those. And per usual, if you have any questions, just stop me, and we'll go through that at that point. And then we're going to look at plotting levels for swing trade perspectives. And I got something else I want to show you all too towards the end of this. I'm sure Sam already knows what it's going to be, but I'm going to show you all a little trick. A lot of you all like to play earnings, and I want to show you all a way that I play earnings, okay? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yes,
Cool. Cool. All right. So let's get into the presentation. Okay, now I can't figure out where you guys went, but it's fine. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So it's just very simple.
Yes.
Creative psychology tips. You guys know where you're at. Three Kings Mentorship, right? So first, got to get the business out of the way. Disclaimer, right? This is not financial advice. This is for personal investment and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to buy or sell. All investments have risks, and it's important to conduct your own due diligence while practicing risk management. Good? Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you're a newer trader, struggling to keep your gains, don't worry because you're not alone. I tell you guys this all the time. We all go through this, right? Some of the best traders, myself, Neil, and Mark, we are the best. No, we've all been through it, right? It's kind of the way this journey works. It drags you first, and then it pays you unfathomable amounts of money, right? But you got to go through it first. So almost every trader goes through this phase. Here are some practical tips to help you stay consistent and grow your account. So the first one is going to, can anybody think what was number one on this list? What's the first thing on this list? Can anybody guess?
Greed.
Stop loss.
Stop loss.
Risk management.
Discipline.
Okay, who said risk management? Silent.
I did. Yeah.
Have you seen this before?
No.
Okay.
Well, on our 101, I guess.
Good one. Manage your risk, right? So some of these are just like rule of thumb and things that you've probably seen anywhere else when you Google certain things, right? But I like to throw in the gym how I do things sometimes, okay? So keep your risk on each trade small. 1 to 2% of your account is a good rule of thumb. Me, I personally like 5 to 10%, and in some cases, like deep swings or leaps, I'll even consider 15 to 20%. So for me, 5 to 10% is okay. So let's say you have 50K in your account, right? 5 to 10% of that is going to be 2,500 to 5K, right, on a position. Now, if you day trade, that's not bad because if something goes catastrophically bad, we get those type of moves like we did today, and you can't catch it. Okay, you're out of 5 to 10%. Out of 50K, 5K, you still have enough left for the fight, right? So you want to manage that. But with the deeper swings, I like 15 to 20% myself personally because you're buying time on those, right? The further out you go, the more time you buy, the more it's going to cost you. So I don't know about 1 to 2%. I don't know of any traders that I know personally that use that, but I hear this all the time. They said it's like the thing, 1 to 2%. Maybe if you trade only stocks, but with stock options, we're gonna need a little bit more to get that reach. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So use stop losses. They are your safety net. And once your trade is in profit, move your stop loss up to break even or trail it to lock in gains. Real simple. Once you start to go into profit, follow the trade with the stop loss so that you can protect yourself. Okay? It's your safety net. The stop loss is what's going to keep you in the game because sometimes we get tricked. Sometimes we make impulsive decisions or sometimes trades just go bad. The stop loss will save you, right? Because if you end up with no more money in your account, you're going to have to find more money. And the goal in this game is to multiply the money, not have to get more money from other places to put it into the market, right? The whole goal is to make money, right? So use that stop loss. It's your safety net. So I already kind of touched on that. I like this rule for swings and leaps. However, day trading, I usually, I took something out of here, but I want to talk to you all about it. So when we're looking at stop losses, I tend to like anywhere from 10, 20 to 30%, right? But if we're talking about swings or leaps, then I it's kind of difficult to say, right? Because I kind of will adjust it per play. But like I say, I like this rule for swings or leaps. However, when day trading, I usually have a target of 20, 30%. Anything that comes after that is extra. So when I'm day trading, you guys probably heard me say this before, I have 20, 30%. I'm starting to look for my exit because I want to leave with something. And like I say, leaps are going to be a little bit different, right? 2, you have a game plan. It's a simple concept, but decide before you trade where you get in, what's your profit target, where's your stop, and write it down and make it clear. I know this it may not seem like it's that important, but it is. You guys hear me say this also? You should know what you're doing before you get into that trade. You should know, hold on one second. You should know where you're getting out, where you're taking profit, how much you're willing to lose, and where you're going to get in before you even take the trade. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. But what I want you all to do is get in the habit. Like, I have a lot of Post-its on my desk and Post-its and different notebooks. Get in the habit of writing it down because we don't want to have to rely on our memory. Some of us, have memories 40 plus years, 30 plus years. We don't want to have to remember what we were thinking. If you write it down, like in your journal, then I always say documentation over conversation because sometimes we don't remember stuff that well. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
King,
Cool.
I have a quick question, if you don't mind. Sorry, I don't know on Zoom where raise hands is. I know Teams and not Zoom. I just had a quick question on the stop loss. Neil talked about stop losses and how to enter it the other day, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole just looking more how to do that, and I found the trailing stop. And I just noticed you just mentioned that on the last slide. I couldn't find, how do you do a trailing stop in Robinhood? I don't see it like I saw somewhere it said it's automatic, that if it goes up, it kind of adjusts itself. But it looks to me like, and I know you hate Robinhood, but that's the only thing I have. So I wasn't sure, is there somewhere that it is an automatic and Robinhood is just manual? I was just curious about that since you just mentioned it.
When I was using Robinhood, they didn't have it for options. I think you can use it on the stocks. So
Oh, okay.
Mark or Neil can answer that question.
As far as I've seen, it's just a stop limit, not a trailing stop. That's only as far as I know, and that's the only feature that I've only seen and only used.
That's all I could see too. So I wasn't sure if I was just misunderstanding what the trailing stop was, but okay, got it.
I was going to agree to that same statement. There is not that feature does not exist in that particular language for Robinhood. Maybe on Webull you can do it, but just setting a stop loss on Monday as well. I showed one example on how to do it through the desktop app. That's the only way that I know.
Oh, sorry. That was you who did it. I forgot. It's already been so long. I forgot who talked about it, but I was looking at my notes and okay, thank you.
No problem.
So again, this is a good time to talk about diversifying. Don't only diversify in your investments, diversify in your brokerages because you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. And Robinhood is not going to be the best. As you advance, you're going to want to have other options to do certain things. Because that trailing stop is something I used to use it a lot. This market has been kind of crazy lately, so I haven't been able to, but it was something I did like often before the market got so volatile. Are you talking to us, Vidal?
Nah, my bad.
Okay, all good. But yeah, Robinhood does not have it. So next thing, keep a journal. Log every trade, what went right, what went wrong, review it often to figure out your strengths and weaknesses. I know this sounds kind of cliche or just kind of redundant, but if you're writing these things down, what'll happen is when you go back to these trades, it may be a trade just took 2 weeks ago, and you may think, oh, I remember something like this happened. If you can go back into your journal, you can confirm it. And also, it'll show you a pattern. Humans usually have patterns, and there's certain stocks you may want to stay away from. Certain things you may not want to play, right? And you can find these things by having a journal because everything is there. That makes sense to everybody?
Yes,
Yes. How many people are actually going to do it or have a journal?
I have a journal.
I do.
I started, yeah.
I
I
started.
have
do.
plenty of journals.
I have one.
I got a journal too.
Oh, y'all making me happy. Okay. Okay.
I have a journal too.
My journal is sad right now.
Your journals.
I have a quick question.
I'm getting
King.
there.
Okay, go ahead, Catherine.
Do you just right now I'm just using an Excel file, you mentioned a notebook. Do you guys ever invest in some of those? I think there's a couple online platforms that like automate the tracking of your trades and then can bring in on top of just the what went wrong, what went right. You can like leave some level analysis that actually is tracking data points around what you're doing. Do you use any of those things?
I don't. I use a notebook. I just want to be honest with you. Neil and Mark, I think Mark was using Trady Ticks at one point. Marquise says he uses TradeZilla. I think I remember him mentioning that. Ant said he made a small app to track his. But for me, I just pretty much use a notebook.
And then is it more just to go through that process psychologically of assessing what you've done right and wrong, and that helps with the learning? Or is it to use for noticing trend? Well, I guess you would naturally observe trends, but I guess you're not looking at the data around.
Well, I guess the answer to your question would be both, right? Because if you definitely are learning from the mistakes you've made in the past, right? And you will notice a pattern. So I guess that's the best way to answer that. That I want to make sure I understood your question fully. Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah, I think as I was asking, I kind of answered it for myself. I think you just learn as you're going and the patterns start to emerge and the ahas happen, and then you'll naturally make changes. I just know some people I've talked to have more formulaic, data-driven analysis that then informs like time of day, tickers, like more complicated things. But in, I guess, the vein of Neil's mantra, keeping it simple is probably better, and just writing it down and going through that exercise is probably a huge help in itself and shouldn't overcomplicate it.
Yes, but you in this case, there's no such thing as too much information. Because if you are feeling away, if something happened during the day, or if you're in a different type of mood, or if you're experiencing something health-wise, I mean, anything you could think of, just kind of put it in that column. Because I want you to understand it's about trading, but for me, it's about the mindset. So when I go back to look at it, I want to know what was I feeling that day? What happened, or what? Because like when we trade in SPY, right? SPY is probably going to evoke some different emotions than like a Lululemon or something like that, something that's a little bit more stable. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So we just trying to, we just want to keep a documentation of what's going on, just so if we ever have to go back or we got to do some back testing, which you will, especially in the beginning of your journey, you're going to question everything, right? You want to have that. Mark said old school paper works. Yep, that's what I told her. I use a notebook. But we've been trading for a while, so we probably just got in the habit because I got notebooks and posters all over stuff. So I'm trying to do more on my phone, like with my notes and stuff, but I just can't help myself. So I just like to write stuff down. Marquis says you also learn patterns about yourself. I would say that is more important. Yes, that's the point I'm making, Marquis. You'll start to pick up on the patterns of what you're doing. I think there's something to seeing it in your own handwriting. It may be. And I also think it's something with our brains with like writing it down. Because
Yeah.
I know with me, if I write something down, I may not be able to remember it, but I may be able to remember writing what I wrote.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Some people are going to use apps and be more, tech friendly. So it's just about preference. What I care about is that you journal. That's it. Just get the data. That's all I care about, because you never know when you're going to have to go back and look at something, because you don't want it to happen when you have this feeling or this pattern repeat itself. And now, and maybe it didn't go your way. And now you're dealing with the emotions of a loss now, and also trying to figure out what I remember I did this. What happened? Right. So just keeping a journal is going to be a good thing.
No, real quick, I just want to add something. What I do. So let's say, for example, I got into a Meta put on the 27th, right? And in my notes, I put that Meta plans to release an AI app during the second quarter. Plus, the chief legal officer sold 921 shares, equaling just over 600K, right? So because I understood that was happening that day, I was able to take out 81%, right? So now when this AI release happens in the second quarter, I can go back and look at, okay, so this is what was happening with Meta on that specific day, right? So definitely taking some good detailed notes, I think would definitely be, it would be a game changer for when you have to reference, especially if you are playing, if you plan to play. So let's say, for example, my plan is to play Meta in the second quarter, right? So I've already set myself up for that future play, right? So I think that is hugely, I'm not even sure that's a word, but I think that's extremely important when you are taking notes on your journaling, to try to be as detailed as possible.
Cool. Everybody good on that?
Yes, thank you.
Cool.
Yep.
Quick question. AC, where do you have your phone? How are we under the steering wheel? I don't know. What you in a spaceship, dude? Never mind. I digress. What's going on, man? Okay, so number 3, don't overtrade, right? Less is more. Focus on quality trades, not quantity. Just because the market is open does not mean you need to trade. Just because the market is open does not mean you need to trade. Just because the market is open does not mean you need to trade. Okay?
Once more, please.
One more time.
Understood. Understood.
What you said?
All right. I said trade every possible moment you get. You got to get all the money, guys. You got to make sure you get money. Look at Mark. Yeah. All right. We're going to get y'all a 1-800 number. Talk to the people. Okay. So, King's Gym, right? I want you guys to create a watch list of your top 5 to 10 tickers. Watch these religiously, map out potential entries, and well, not exits, but map out potential entries and set alerts to help you stay abreast of the price movement. Only follow those entries set. And we will look at alerts again today. And
Quick question.
okay.
So when picking out them tickers, do we need to is it like a rule of thumb as far as like balancing how much do we want in a certain sector, like having AVGO, NVIDIA, and AMD on there?
I would try to be as balanced as possible, but for me, my watch list changes. And what I just want you all to do is pick 5. I want you all to see a pattern, right? Like I gave you all the analogy with the kids and the birthday party, right? If it's your kids, you understand how your kids are going to respond. But if it's your kids and you're having a birthday party for them and there's 30 other kids, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to understand what all of those 30 kids are going to do, opposed to the ones that you know and you've been studying. Okay. This watch list isn't like your portfolio, but I wouldn't go all heavy in one sector, of course, unless you just only plan on trading tech stuff or one sector specific things. But this is more or less for you to understand what's happening. And when you watch something religiously, eventually you learn the patterns so you can see certain things. That's why with SPY, you guys are always like, how'd you know that? Or what'd you see? Well, we've been in the thing for a very long time. So I've learned SPY really well. Right. And I think what I want you all to understand is you don't have to trade every ticker on the market. Like this isn't Pokemon. You don't have to catch them all. You can get one ticker and play it over and over. I mean, not just one, but you can get a select few and play those and make plenty of money. If you guys saw my orders, you would be like, wow, he plays the same few things. And then when I see something new and I see some other opportunities, I'll play those and I'll show you all what strategy helps me play other things. Sometimes you guys hear me playing random stuff and there's a reason for that. But for the most part, I want you all to understand what's going on. Marquis said his little shorty is QQQ. Well, that's part of, I don't know how that's working out for you, but I'm going to advise you to not do that because you're trying to figure out what multiple tickers are doing at once. But Marquise, I seem like you've been in the game for a little while and you trade futures, so it's probably working out well for you. But for the most part, let me add that with this watch list, no ETFs. If you guys are still new, starting out, no ETFs, right? Because that's going to have no index ETFs, sorry, because it's going to have multiple things. No indexes, no index ETFs, right? So SPY, QQQ, stay away from them for a while. It's not worth the risk because it is highly volatile, as you guys have probably seen or figured out. I'm coming here with that, Bobby. I'm coming here with that, man. We flowing good. I'll mute you. That's all good. Marquis said, I trade in Q futures. Oh, right. That's what I figured. You trade futures, so I could see that. Cool. All right, so don't overtrade. There's another part to don't overtrade. Let me get. So what I want y'all to remember, if you've had 2 losses in a row, take a break. Revenge trading almost never ends well. If you have 2 losses in a row in a day, you're done. Find something else to do with your time. It's just that simple, because I don't want you to be triggered to start to revenge trade. After back-to-back losses, you are done trading for the day. Manage the previous positions only, replay the day and figure out what may have gone wrong and correct any mistakes, but also implement a plan to avoid making the same mistakes twice and stick to it. That's going to be the hardest part. You're going to know what you did wrong, but sticking to it the next time it presents an opportunity for you to do it wrong again is going to be the hardest part. So I'm telling you all now, don't do it. If you take those back-to-back losses, right, and you continue to trade, it's probably not going to end well. And if it does end well, unfortunately, it's going to make you think that that's okay. And I have not seen it work well long term. Marquise, let me fix that. Revenge trading never works because even if you end up winning, you compromise your mental discipline in the process. Bingo. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. If you step into that slippery slope, which you guys have probably already done it, so you know what I'm talking about. If you step into the slippery slope of making your mind think it's okay to revenge trade, usually you're going to negate your strategy because you're revenge trading, and that's not a strategy. Your mind is going to think that's okay. And I'm telling you, when you least expect it, when you up 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, it's going to show itself again. So let's just avoid it now. Some of you all have probably already experienced these things and you know it's not going right. Just take my word. It's not going to go right. If you want to take the long route like I did, fine. If you got that type of character and that type of time and money, Go ahead. But it's not pretty. Please, guys. Just 2 losses, something is off, something isn't right because you're not that bad, right? Something happened outside of your control. Just gotta stop. Because what we tend to forget is tomorrow is a whole nother day. We got another 7+ hours to get back at them, right? We get caught up. It's something about these charts that make us get caught up in it, like it's like we're fighting for life or death, or like we're on a game show, or this is this is like Mr. Beast games or something, and we have to get it right. No, 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 no. You can press pause on this and come back tomorrow, okay? So I want you all to live to fight another day, as they say. 4, keep your cool. Stick to your strategy. Avoid trades based off of FOMO, fear of missing out, or panic. We already talked about this. Losses are a part of the game. Accept them, learn from them, and move on. I know this stuff sounds redundant, guys, and I know it sounds very plain, and it's like, maybe some of y'all are thinking like, why is King telling me this? Because I want it implanted in your brain. I want you guys to hear this, see this, and feel this, because I'm telling you, this list is bulletproof. And if you just stick to it, you're gonna be okay. 5, use the charts to your advantage.
Real quick.
So what?
Can you hear me? You mentioned, and this could probably be done a little bit later, but you mentioned like, if you had your losses, and even your successes, to replay it and see what happens. You showed me something that I didn't know you could do in TradingView, which was actually replay the day and take a look at it. That maybe we could show that again and let people see how they can do that, since you brought up the, just replay the day and see what went right or what went wrong.
Absolutely. Thanks for the reminder. I planned on showing that once we go to the chart. I'm gonna show y'all some stuff on the chart. But thanks for the reminder.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Okay. One of these days I'm gonna have to go hang with Bobby. He be all over the place, man. So use the charts to your advantage, right? I feel like I'm watching YouTube sometimes. So look at larger time frames, the daily and the weekly, to see the overall trend, and use smaller time frames for better timing of the entries and exits. So we kind of talked about this, and we could talk about it again once we get to the chart if need be. But King's Gym, zoom out. Zoom out. A lot of times I can see things coming because I zoomed out. And I'm looking at a higher time frame so I can see what's happening further out versus what's happening right here, right? And zooming out will help you prevent a lot of fake outs and fear of losing, things like that, even FOMO. So you want to play this game from a sniper perspective opposed to a field soldier. Nothing against anyone that's been a field soldier or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you're up close on the action, the risk is higher. If you're further away, you can see everything. Okay. Pay attention to the volume versus average volume. It's a great way to confirm whether a move is legit or not. We talked about that, right? We talked about that I think last Wednesday. So that's another good tip when I showed you guys why. Cool. So 6, adapt to the markets. I know it's very difficult right now because we have a very volatile president, and things are all over the place. So the market is going to be changing daily. As you guys see, these candles look crazy, but you have to adapt to the markets. We have to understand that right now it's going to be a lot of volatility because he's reshaping a lot of things, right? So markets are constantly changing, and fast volatile markets use smaller positions and tighter stops. And slow markets give your trades more room to breathe. Remember, the trend is your friend and don't fight it. I think Mark, maybe it wasn't Mark, maybe it's what's the rich guy's name? Can't remember his name. Warren Buffett says when they go easy, we go hard. When the market is hard, we go easy. Make sense? So right now, be more careful, right? A tad bit more careful. Once things balance out, we got a clear direction. That's when we're going to go, go a little, be a tad bit more aggressive. And you will know. Once these things start to balance out, the market will pick a side, and there will be plenty of opportunities, okay? So we just want to make it there, so we don't want to use all of our capital. 7, know when to take profits. You don't always have to close your entire position at once. Take some profit at key levels and let the rest run if the trade still looks good. Stick to your targets. Don't let greed make you hold on too long. So one thing, give me 1 second. Okay, so one thing I think Mark talks about, oh no, Mark, he shows you this actually. He scalps all the time. You hear him say, oh, I scalped the contract, or I scalped some here. When you get to your price target or your first level, you sell some to ensure that you take some profit. And then if you think it's a good trade, you leave a few to continue to run. I do the same thing. I'll take most of my position at the target, and then I'll let the rest run. Especially if you think it's going to continue to go down, but now you have less risk on the table when you do that. You've taken your profit, and it should be a substantial amount. So now that the runners, they can continue to make profit or not, right? It won't hurt you as bad as if you have your entire position and you didn't take anything. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, another thing. When you set a target, you need to be taking profit. As you set that target for a reason. You set that target for a reason. Take profit, or at least start to take profit. I am guilty of sometimes I peek back and forth, or I ask one of my co-mentors something, and they tell me to do one thing, and I know the play is gonna go to 1,000, but they tell me to take it at 100%, and I miss a lot of money on Oracle. It happens.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Rogers.
I just wanted to tap into this one because exactly what you said this morning. All right, or what you said today. This morning on the live, Neil was there on YouTube. I said, okay, I'm looking for Meta to hit. I think it was 648, 652, and then go to I don't even remember what it was. 656. I said, this is my end of the day target. If we hit 656, I could consider swinging, but more than likely, I'm probably going to take my gains. Well, Meta moves so slow, but by the end of the day, we not only hit 656, we went a little bit higher. But once we hit that 656, I went ahead and took my money. Like, I knew Meta was going to move since Monday, right? Monday, I signaled Meta $700 calls at the dollar cost average. This morning, Meta came down, but I knew it was still going back up, caught the bounce, walked away with a profit. It's all about discipline because I knew I was going to hit that price target within the next few days. So once you map it out, if you see the trend, you trade that trend, and you got to stay vigilant on it too. Now, truthfully, I probably should have practiced risk management on Monday when I got in those Meta 700s when it lost 18%. But my mindset and my position were already into 2 weeks out or a week out, whatever the 21st is. So my mindset was already there. So if you see it and you hit it, take that bag and go. It was great walking away with 18% on 3 Meta calls for 321 and making $300 in a day and not having to go sweat for it. So just think about it like that.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. But that's real. Neil, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just saying that
you apologize?
In reference to the advice that I gave you, I
this
think
is
it's
an apology.
Forget it, because now I can't even get it out.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that. That's why I interrupted you. Got to be quicker than that. All right, let's go. Number 8. This is one of the most important ones. Learn, 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 learn. Practice your strategy on historical charts to see if it works. TradingView has a replay feature that allows you to replay the charts on any previous time frame. AC brought that up. I'm going to show it to you guys on TradingView. Follow experienced traders and study how to handle the markets, risks, and emotions. You guys are already doing that. You literally joined the mentorship just for that. This is how we all learn and grow. Always remain a student of the game. It's just that simple. Constantly learning. I still study things. I still look at different strategies. Sometimes I still even purchase different strategies. Not strategies, but different materials or whatever I think will make me better, I'm gonna do it because this game is going to reward you tenfold. Cool.
Yes.
So 9, screenshot your trades. I know this sounds crazy, but take screenshots of your charts after each trade and jot down why you made the decision you did. This will help you spot patterns and what works and what doesn't. Also gives you reference to when, where, and why you may have gotten into the trade. This is especially important if you're going to be swing trading. I'm telling you, once you guys start doing this, if you're not doing it full time, once you start to do this on a more consistent basis, the numbers and the tickers are going to run together. You are going to think that you're waiting on a gap on Tesla and it'll be on Oracle. Like if you screenshot, make a note, whatever you have to do, have some type of physical representation of where you got in, what you were doing. We want as much data as possible. Documentation over conversation. We don't want to have to rely on our memories because you may be in a split-second decision, and it's easier just to go to a photo and kind of look back on that and figure out, and see exactly what happened. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yes. Makes sense.
Cool. Conclusion.
Absolutely. It was extra game for me too, because I'd never thought about that. I take screenshots of my my profits and losses and stuff like that. But I never thought about taking a picture of the screen when it's up 100% or something that where you really want to be at. So I'm glad that was a great game right there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, everybody always want to take the gains, like you say, or like you said, the losses, but take a picture of that chart when you got in, or when you got in, and what you were thinking. Make a note to yourself. And again, like I said, that'll help you see patterns. But as you all know, this game, the more data you have, the better. Just like when you're developing a trade or coming up, the more information you have on the ticker is better. And in this case, you're the ticker. The more information you have on yourself, the more profitable you may be, right? So conclusion, the key is to focus on the process, not the outcome of each individual trade. Small, steady improvements add up over time. Be patient with yourself. Trading is a skill, and like any other skill, it takes time to master. This is true. Slowly but surely, because what happens is this: you do it slow long enough that you start to really develop the skill, and then one day you're in the big leagues. It just happens like that. You do it slow and you do it right. Once you finally get the chance to do it right, like I say, you guys are in a great position because you have like mentorships and this and that. When I started out, we had certain things, but when I first started trading options, it was a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of scamming going on. So I didn't have these types of like real open conversations because everybody wanted to hoard the game and keep it to themselves. So, and it wasn't as much information as it is now, right? But if you practice this and over and you stick to the rules, eventually you're going to get to a point, and I mean, Neil and Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll get to a point where the money will not even make sense. It's like the same thing you were doing, you keep doing it over and over again, and at some point it'll all add up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Cool.
I agree 100%.
Cool. Neil, why are you writing on stuff? What you doing, bro? How do you turn that off, man?
So what you do is you click whiteboards, and then you go to the settings on it, and then you enable disable ability to use the whiteboard. David got people walking through his beach on the background.
No privacy in here, guys. Got the whole family learning. Yeah, I feel you. It's all that, but that's good. You should. Why not?
Yeah,
Let them get used to this language early, right?
absolutely, man.
So I
Sorry
have
about being
I have
alerted.
disabled the whiteboard. I
I'm
didn't
still
think I would
learning.
ever have to do that for adults, but I have disabled it.
I'm gonna have to cut out of here to get ready for church. But man, great lesson. I hate I'm about to miss the sauce because I know what's coming.
That's all good.
Coming.
So, let's do this. Do we have any questions? Be safe, bro. Do we have any questions about what we just saw? Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Say pretty simple.
Yeah, can you
Yes.
kind of like go back over like the I guess like the use case of using volume versus average volume?
Okay. Anything else? Cool. I just want to make sure there was nothing else about the tips. So when we're looking at, I can just explain it to you actually. When we're looking at volume, right, and we're looking at the average volume, for me, when I see the regular volume or the daily volume getting close to the average volume or over, right, that's going to make me want to take a look at what is happening with that stock and why is it trading above average, right?
Okay.
Same thing with below, right? If I see it's way below average, but let's say I see it's below average and the stock is rising, right?
Mhm.
Or moving. I don't want to get you. I don't want to get you caught up in either direction. But if it's moving and it's moving a lot, but there's no volume behind it, you guys will hear me say a lot of time that's hollow. It's hollow. It's not. I don't believe it. It's hollow, right? I mean, sometimes I don't believe it because I know it ain't about to happen. But when you see the volume is different from the average volume, you're gonna ask yourself why, right?
Okay.
That's and whenever you see that, I always want you to go and investigate why.
All right, yeah. One more quick question to follow up on that.
What's up?
Is there any indicators that have like both of those on one? 'Cause I use like I guess regular volume at the bottom of my chart, but I guess I'm not using average volume, so I'm trying to figure out is there one that
I'll
has
show
like
you
both
on
of them
TradingView what I
together?
look at. I know Mark has a volume indicator, but I'll show you on TradingView what I look at. Okay.
Okay.
Look at that
Bottom
right.
right. Sits bottom right.
Yeah, I'm about to show him.
I got a quick question about the volume.
Okay, cool. Go ahead,
Does
bro.
the volume always stay the same?
No.
It changes daily?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Volume is the daily measurement. Usually it's measured in days. It's the daily measurement of what's happening with that asset.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yep.
So real quickly, Vidal, here, see this? Volume,
Mm-hmm.
average volume.
Okay, yeah. I gotta look around on my laptop. I'll be using my phone a little bit too much.
Yeah. We go diversify. We're gonna want to get a laptop, and you won't want to use that laptop too. Use that phone for when you have to, but
Mhm.
use the laptop mostly. The laptop is gonna be a better tool, okay? But then you can see things better. We look at the phone as it's kind of like it's mobile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I guess like the
It's
upper
good enough.
the microphone the microwave. Say that again.
I said it's good enough, but it ain't, yeah.
Cool.
Good for all the
Hey,
stuff
King.
right here that I'm seeing.
The mobile version, a lot of the features aren't even in the app.
Okay.
Okay.
King, I have a
Yeah.
question on the. Yep.
What's up, Sam?
So just in regards to like the trading psychology tips,
Mhm.
you're like, let's say like how off I know you're talking about like you go back and you check. So like how often would you, like, let's say for with how the markets are pretty volatile right now. So would you say that like after like, let's say for the most part you don't trade for that day, then the whole mindset would be just like going back at your notes and just reviewing what's happened in the past. Is that what you do?
Absolutely. But more importantly, if something is triggering you to wonder, right? If you're not, if I don't want to say if you're taking losses, but if you're taking losses, or if you're not as accurate as you would like to be, or you feel like you're not as sharp as you want to be, same difference, right? You're gonna go to those notes. Whenever you guys get confused, I just want to give you more things to take a look at and analyze when you're trying to solve the equation of what the heck happened. Right? But definitely, this is my first time being in a market like this. I've been in something like this, especially around like COVID and stuff, but I've never seen it like this. So I am reviewing things. I am taking my time. Right now I am really trying to stay sharp. And there are times, like I say, if the market overwhelms me or if I'm just not sure, I don't trade. Okay.
Okay, I'm just thinking of like mindset because I think like you're like a more seasoned trader, so I'm assuming that that's what you're doing. But I think for most new traders, it's a lot of it would be that plus like also making sure that like what you're not like FOMOing in, you're not. I think that's what you're trying to say, right? Like that's like making sure that you're keeping yourself accountable and making and
Absolutely.
okay.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to be tested, right? And once you're tested, if let's say you don't pass, right? Let's say you took the bait that day. Afterwards, you're going to experience maybe a loss. Or even if you win, go back to now this is the emotional side of it. But if we're just talking about just trade your trading journal without the emotions, then of course, then it's just what happened, right? But definitely go back. It's kind of hard for me to put myself in that perspective in this type of market because when I started, the market was weird, but it wasn't like this, right? So I would just encourage you guys to write everything down and always review it. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So here we go. We have Tesla. Tesla's on the chart now. Can anybody tell me something that stands out about Tesla? Something that we've talked about throughout this course. Can anybody tell me something about Tesla that just stands out to them? By
It
looking
doesn't go down.
You did what?
It doesn't go down. Tesla doesn't go down. That's what stands out about it.
Okay. Anything else? It doesn't go down. I want you to zoom out, okay? Because it does go down. It's gone down. I don't know what more you want from it, Vic, but $200 move is goes down. It's a lot of goes down. But
The gap, I've been waiting for the gap for the past 2 days. That's why.
now that's the problem. This thing is being very stubborn with the gap. But someone asked yesterday about lines. Is there such thing as too many? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. So don't feel bad about too many. These are alerts and lines. I'm on this thing like a hawk. As you all know, I've been playing Tesla for a while.
Anything that stands out.
What'd you say, Deb?
No, I was just trying to read your chart. I see the fair value gaps. There's two there, but I don't what's your purple box?
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. I'm glad you asked that.
One of the things I noticed is it looks like once it finds its trend, it stays in it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that I can see that because it shot up and then that has something to do with its owner or Elon. Shot up and then it came on down. Anything else from any of the previous lessons or anything that you guys remember me talking to you all about? I'll give you a hint.
Party on the roof.
So what?
Said the party on the roof is all messed up.
The party is over. The party is over. Good one, Lori. Look at this. The 10 just crossed the 200. How did I know to play Tesla puts this week? Because I saw this coming. And price is under the penthouse floor. This should be here. Listen, anybody been playing Tesla lately?
I have.
Yep.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Were you playing it like let's say anywhere from November to December?
No.
Okay. Well, you guys know, you probably heard about it from everyone you could think of. Tesla was running November to December. Tesla was running, right? Everybody was Tesla this, Tesla that. Tesla was like the new Bitcoin. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing about people making money in Tesla. Look at that. Candles or the price or us in this equation, partying was a good time, right? Shortly after, it started to descend and price went below the floors. But not only did that happen, once price crossed, it never got back above that top floor, which is the 10 EMA. The 10 EMA is now created a death cross with the 200. So if we're thinking about like the analogy we use with the EMAs, the rooftop is now on the ground and you're under both. Party over. It's no good. This is terrible. A lot of stocks don't do this. It takes a lot to get them to one break the 200, but the 10 broke. That's pretty bearish. So for right now, I think Vic, you were asking me about Tesla, and this is what I think when you asked me yesterday, I told you, what did I say? At some point, the 10 is going to cross the 200. Didn't I say that?
Yep, and it did today, actually. Music to my ears.
Okay, I know a little something, Vic. Just a little something. I'm gonna start charging you
Thank you.
It's all good. So again, Tesla created a death cross. And this is one of the worst. I mean, it can get worse, like because these can start to come down here, but that 10 crossing the 200 is not only did you fall through the floor, but the whole building fell on top of you. It's hard to come back from, okay?
Yeah, I think it
So-
will if you look at the week.
Say that again.
That's it. I think it will because if you look at it at the week,
Mhm.
it's
Terrible.
it's gonna hit that
I'm waiting on it, as you can see.
yeah in the
I'm
monthly.
for
So
For sure. So, okay. We're gonna come back to this. I want to answer Ant's question. So, Ant, can you turn on your mic? Talk to me. Can't hear you yet. You muted now.
You're muted.
You are unmuted, but the headset may have not.
What about now?
There you go. Gotcha. So your question was about plotting levels for swing trades.
Yeah, so like what you were just explaining, so I understand the death cross, but how did you come up to like understand that that's coming? Like I see the 10 and the 20 crossing, and that says it's going down. But how did you, get to that, like know it's coming?
Well, real simple. I'm looking at the way that they're pointing, right? So these are averages, right? Exponential moving averages. So we see that 20 is here, right? This is the 10, this is the 20. That's the slingshot, 72 and the 50 is in there. Let me turn the slingshot off.
Hey, King, blow up the chart.
True. Cool. Thanks for that, Neil. So, when I saw this happening, Tesla's in a downtrend, and the candles are under the EMAs, but you could probably guess based on the direction that this 10 is going that it may try to cross the 200. Now, if that happens, price is going to show Tesla's bad. But what I can say is now I can tell you now the 50 may create a death cross with the 72 this week. As long as Tesla continues to stay down, eventually this line is going to cross this line, and that's going to create a death cross. Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So one of the things I use is smart money concepts. That's why you see premium zones. You guys are familiar with smart money concepts?
Yes.
I use that to plot support and resistance. I use the sell order blocks as resistance. But you asked about from a swing trader's perspective. So if I'm looking for a swing trade, I'm gonna start on the 4-hour, and then I'm gonna work my way out to the day. And I may even go, depending on how much time I got on the contract, I may even go to the 3-day, and maybe even the weekly. Okay. But when you start getting to the weekly and the monthly, that's gonna be like deep swings and leaps. Cool.
Yeah.
One way I like to look at support and resistance is where was price previously, right? So I got my lines turned off because I don't want to do that to you all. But when we're looking, price was here at one point, 329, right? That was a level. What does that look like to you, Ant? If you don't know, just say I don't know and I'll answer it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like a level of previous resistance, right? So let's mark it, because when price got to this point, which is 329.92, what happened? It rejected and came back down, right?
Yep.
If we're looking at that candle came up to this point, came back down. So we automatically know that there's some resistance there because it wasn't able to break through. There's also equilibrium on smart money concepts. So that could act as support or resistance. Same thing if we see like here, came here and then bounced up at one point. This could be support. Can you see that?
Yep.
Cool. Go ahead, Wilhelm. Wait, are you good, Ed?
Yeah.
You sure you need me to go deeper or you good?
No, I get that. This so far.
So did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead, Will.
Two questions with the smart money concepts. Like, let's take the equilibrium, for example. There's that entire bar. So, like, where is that entire bar acting as resistance? Or is it just like what I guess what I'm asking is like, where do you feel comfortable getting into the trade, right? Let's say that price approaches equilibrium. Is it at the bottom? Is it at the top that you would get in? Let's just say it was like a bullish candle. You know, I think that's where I get tripped up, right? Because it's such a thick bar, it's not just a line.
Okay, so I'll explain that. Equilibrium can act as support or resistance depending on which direction the price is in. So if we're coming from above it, it could act as resistance, because equilibrium is the equal point between premium and discount. This is where investors see it at a equal or fair price. So they could either get ready to sell it or buy it at this point. So this block is going to act as either.
Okay,
It can act as either.
I don't think I was clear on my question, but like, let's take the resistance right there at 360, right?
At 360?
Yeah, that entire bar, is that all resistance, or like if you were bullish on Tesla and it broke resistance right at the bottom of it?
I got you. So look, for me, I'm going to put an alert here because these are orders, right? These are sell orders. These are bearish orders, right? This is a bearish order block. So for me, I'm going to put an alert at both if I'm using that as resistance, because until price breaks through the order block, fills everything, right? Then because it could come here and reject. Saw that right here? It wicked, and what happened afterwards? Fail. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we wanted to break it. We want it to go all the way through. Okay.
So you want it to break the entire order block, not just like go halfway through.
Yeah, because it could go up and get sold down before it gets a chance to get all the way through, like here.
Got it.
Cool. And this is on smart money concepts. Same thing here, right? Boom. Boom. And I will put the first alert just to let me know that we're there, right? Because
I see.
if I'm waiting for this this level of resistance to break through, I want to know exactly when we got into it, right? And then once we break out here, make sense?
That makes sense. And then my other question was, I hear you may have answered this in another class, but like I hear you and Mark talk about this is a key level, especially in his Monday morning or on his morning market analysis. He's talking about key levels when he plots the support and resistance. So I'm curious, what makes it a key level? Is it because it's on a higher time frame?
No, for usually when you see it's about how price responds to it. So here, this would have been considered a key level for me, this 329.42, because we came here and we bounced, right? Last time we came here and we bounced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Follow me? So for me, I mean, this is one example, right? So for me, I know that that's a key level so that when I see price get around that level, I'm going to watch it to see how it responds. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's multiple
Multiple
times price hit that level.
Yeah, it's something going on in that level. I just want you to remember that. I don't want to overcomplicate it, but it's something happening there, right?
Okay.
And right here, it was support. It's a lot of support there. It bounced there and went all the way up. It's been in a free fall, and then when it came down to that level, it at least paused. Okay,
Makes sense.
cool. Go ahead, Vidal. Am I saying your name right? Is it Vidal or Vidal?
It's Vidal.
Vidal. Excuse me.
Yeah. But so I'm seeing where like you marking the prices off. So I'm trying to see because I know with Mark he was just kind of like marking them off like top of the wicks on like green candles as you go up to find your resistance levels, and did like the inverse for the downside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at the way you're doing it. Are you marking it off at like points of reversal, basically, or points of like where it's bouncing?
But yes, for sure.
Is that like would you dictate where you want to put your lines at?
Absolutely. Because that lets me know something happened there, right? If price is falling and it gets right here and bounces up, what happened? It met some buyers there.
Okay.
That's support. There's some buyers there. So I want to know if I'm in puts, I need to know where they at because my goal is to push through them. But if this is a key level and that doesn't happen, then I'm going to know. So let me turn my lines back on because something told me about Tesla. Here it is. So we talked about key levels, right? I already had a line around that area, right? But this was my line to let me know when to kind of get into Tesla confirmation, okay? But once we're done with the questions, I'll show you what I want to show you all next. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically, high activity areas, or you saying that constant either reversal or that was significant points of breakthrough?
Absolutely, because if it did a reversal, something happened, right? If price was in a downtrend and it bounced up, something happened. They met some buyers. And I want to make sure I know where they're at all times. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, this chart is full of stuff. So if we don't have any more questions, I'll start a whole new layout because I want to show you all something.
I got a question, King.
What's up, Vic?
How's it going? Thanks for the explanation on Vidal's question. Actually, it was really good. I'm just trying to understand, how do you mark your levels? How do you map your levels in the chart based on the time frames? Like, how do you know which is a strong support or resistance? Is it based on the time frame, or is it based on how many times it's bounced off it? Do you mark right at the wick where it ends, or do you mark at when the candle closes or opens?
At the wick. The wick, we want
At
to
the
know
wick.
everywhere price has been, and I like to do it on the day. Now, it depends on the play. If I'm in a day trade, then I may go down to see if I can see more levels of interest, right? But I always start at the day so that I can see the bigger the bigger levels, because if you have a day trade and you're on a 65-minute, it may hit your daily level, right? Previous day low, previous day high, it may hit that. So I'm gonna mark those out. There's another thing. When you see these, I turn all of these on my chart. This is through Smart Money Concepts. I turn on previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, and previous month. Okay? Because I want to know wherever price was at. I want to know where price has been at all times. Okay. So here, the chart did it for me. It was a previous day high. I'm going to mark that. And I may put something in the alert to let me know. That was the previous day high of the 4th of yesterday. Yesterday's previous day high was here. Today, I wasn't convinced that Tesla was ready to run because it never even broke the previous high. Came back up to here. Look at this level. Tesla, this is the highest level Tesla touched today. But if we go back to yesterday and after hours and pre-market, that's the same level, isn't it? We never broke this level.
True. But it closed today higher than yesterday. Does that mean anything?
It can, but it didn't wait. It closed today higher than yesterday.
Yesterday closed at 272, and today closed at 278, I think, or 9.
No, it didn't close higher today. Let's see.
Yep.
Oh, right. It closed higher. Today it closed, let me see, 279, and yesterday.
Is that closed after after the
Trading hours? No, it's before trading hours.
Tesla went up to
During
279 a day.
Yep, that's what it closed at, I think, as well.
What I'm concerned with is it never broke this, right?
Yesterday's high.
Right. It never broke yesterday's high. So when you're looking at these candles, they're still pretty much in a downtrend. We're getting a little bit of push right here. But what are we going to do since this happened today? Tomorrow we're going to watch it closely, right?
Yep.
For our puts.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So there was something else. Did you? No, you didn't ask me anything else. Did I answer your question?
Sorry. No, on
one at a time, guys.
Sorry, go ahead. Or
are you done, Vic?
Now I have another question based on what he asked us to do. Or somebody else wants to go ahead?
No, just ask it.
Okay. You asked us to select some indicators and select some tickers and mark the entry levels, correct?
I asked you to create a watch list.
Yeah, select a few tickers and select entry levels looking at the chart. Can you, like, for example, on Tesla, what would be entry levels, just so I can understand as well how I'd go about the process for the other tickers I would look at?
I don't think I understand what you're asking me.
Sorry. Okay. I'll be okay.
I think what he's saying is, like, for example, like right now the trend is like a put, right? And let's say that you're not in a put. So based on let's say if you were to look at Tesla as a one
for
of the
call.
Yeah, or for a call, yeah.
Either one, yeah, exactly.
Either one, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So
thanks.
No problem. I'm going to go to a clean chart for you all because I don't want to be messing with my strategy for one, and two, it's a lot going on. So let's create a new layout. We'll call it Vic.
Thanks, King.
No problem. Okay. Jesus. What did I do? Oh, because we're on the same ticker, so it's gonna still show up. Okay, well, since we're on this one, I'll stay here. For me, since I've already marked it, me personally, for calls, I would wait for confirmation above the previous high, right? I already have an alert set there. And if I was in puts, that may be my stop loss. That may be the point I get out. Because we already know if this candle comes here like this, and then tomorrow we get a candle that comes here, we're starting to turn around, right? We're not in the downtrend, we're starting to go back up into an uptrend. And I'm telling you for sure, if you want to play it even safer, look at that. 303. Right? If Tesla crosses 303, then we're back in the uptrend. It will be safe to get into calls. A lot of times when you guys hear me say I'm waiting on confirmation, it is a particular mark. It is a particular price point. Even here, right? See that?
And what you guys can do too, and I do this a lot, and I'm sure Mark and King do this as well. When you're looking at the previous high and the previous the day's previous high, or yesterday's previous high and previous low, tomorrow that previous high can act as resistance and the previous low can act as support. And that's really just to sum it all up into a nutshell.
Yeah. So to answer your question, if I was thinking about calls, or I know you have puts, if I'm thinking about maybe practicing risk management on the puts, once I see Tesla start to create or try to create an uptrend past this last high, I may want to either get in calls or practice risk management on those puts, Vic. Cool.
Even though the 10-day EMA is touching the 800, or past the 800 on the 1-day time frame.
Depends on how much time you have on your position.
The 14th of April.
Well, oh yeah, 14th of April. Well, you got almost a month. And also depends on where you got into the play and how much you up or down. If it's about your risk tolerance. Now, if it was me and I had great positioning on those and I was up on them already, that death cross is going to weigh a little bit heavier on me. So when I see this happen, I'm going to make a plan, right? If I believe the trade is still a good trade, when I see this happening, I'm going to watch it and I'll say, well, maybe I'll average down at that point. Okay. But if we start to go here and here, then I am going to practice risk management because you got a month to try to get it back where you need it. And there may not be enough time. Okay.
Okay.
Just because it created that death cross, something can happen, as you guys know, on the news, or the president can say something, or Elon could tweet something, and Tesla could do this again, right? So in this market, we are going to use those extra layers of confirmation, but we also want to be careful. Okay.
Ace, thank you.
Cool. I think there was another question.
It was me. All right, so I have a question on your lines. So you have a ton of lines out there, and I see you're hovering over them. How do you know which line is for what thing? So even if you look at that, if you see right there, it just says Tesla crossing 354. It doesn't, that to me doesn't tell me anything other than it's crossing 252.
Right here, you put a name on it, and then you write a message to yourself.
Right. So I that's what I've been doing in mine, but I'm looking at yours and I'm like, how would you know what any of that means? Because that could be previous resistance. That could be, the previous top of support.
I've been doing it for a while. I already know what I'm doing with Tesla. In my sleep, I think about Tesla.
All right.
Yeah. Unless I need something like this, I will probably put something here. So let's do that, because that's a pretty pivotal level. So I will put maybe practice risk management. or maybe put a message to myself. Tesla crossing 303. That would have been March 4th. The last high from March 4th, crossing 303. Be careful. Or there's all sorts of things I would say to myself. My older computer has all sorts of messages in it. My Mac doesn't really have the messages because I haven't used them as much. But you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Risk management, average down, Elon tripping, something, right? Anything to
Yep.
get your mind to understand what's happening when you see that alert. I'm glad you asked that question because it's not something that I look at all the time because I'm so calculated with my plays. I pretty much know what I'm looking at, and I understand. Like if I see alert go off a Tesla at 259, I know I'm cooking. If I see an alert go off 284, I don't care what I'm doing. I could be well, not driving. I don't do that. I could be here somewhere else, and I'm gonna pretty much know because I know where I need Tesla to be, right? So,
Okay.
but starting out from you all's perspective, definitely right is, man, fill that box up.
So I can leave a recommendation for what I've been doing. I've been doing like TOR for top of resistance, BOR for bottom of resistance, and then putting the date and then what the time frame that I'm looking at it at. So if it's a 65-minute, if it's today. So it's just been helping me. So I just didn't know if you were doing something to that level for each one of them. But since you said you know yours, so I'm just learning it. So that's how I've been doing it for mine.
I think that's excellent. In the beginning, I was definitely very detailed, but now I have mastered the way I like to trade and my strategy that I just kind of, I have a system. Neil, you got a question?
Yeah, I just want to, because Erica has a question in the chat.
Oh,
So when you're ready, I'll ask her question.
okay. You can answer it now. That was on the other chart. I
Oh,
know
no,
what she's talking about.
it was in reference to Tesla.
Yeah, here.
Okay. She says, I saw a buy signal on the Truth Tesla daily chart. Is that because it is a lagging indicator?
You asking me?
No, this is Erica's question.
I understand it. Are you gonna answer it?
Oh, well, I was giving you the floor, brother. So
That's what I said. You asking me that, Neil. I don't know what's going on with you tonight, man. But dude, I don't. Are you and Vic in cahoots? Did y'all plan this? What is going on?
Go Neil.
Hit that about a go Neil. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna look at everything to answer your question, Erica, because yeah, it's created a buy signal, but this thing is so bearish. It's just saying that it may go up, and it did. You know what happened today? It pushed up, so maybe it may come up a little bit more. It's another reason why we have these marked, right? Cool.
Yeah, thank you. But that's the kind of thing that like makes me second guess myself sometimes when I'm looking
Yeah.
at these kind of things.
Yeah, just like we had a buy signal here, but look at it. Tesla's still in the downtrend. Yeah, it pushed up a little bit and then it fell and it kept falling. But most of the time, stocks have to take that little breather. They don't just go straight down. They catch some type of buy orders, push up, and then keep coming. Me,
Yeah.
I already, as my famous words is, I don't believe it. You're gonna have to show me. You're gonna have to stop me out of this one because I'm still in those puts. So what happened today didn't scare me. I tell you what, that cross, that death cross on them EMAs is standing out to me right now. But again, today's market is not the regular market. So we can get on here tomorrow and something can happen. It can be an announcement and Tesla can go through the roof. Okay. But this is why we're gonna watch it. And as it rolls up, we're gonna pay attention to it. Okay. So while we're here, I want to show you all the replay feature that I mentioned and AC also mentioned. If you don't know, it's here, right? Can everybody see that? Bar replay.
Yes.
Cool. So let's go to the 10-minute time frame. This is the 10-minute time frame from today. right? Actually, let me go back to the other chart. It looks better. And when we hit bar replay, we can replay any part of the chart, any historical part of the chart. As long as it's historical, it has already happened, we can replay it, right? So you take the pointer back and click to where you want to start, okay? So let me try to get my chart squeezed in a little bit. So let's say we want to look at what Tesla did today. Is this today? Wednesday. On the 10-minute time frame, we're going to take the bar. Sorry about that. We're going to take the bar and move it back to the point that we want to look at. And for the sake of this, I'm going to expand the chart again, okay? So bar replay. Come all the way back. Start here. Let's start at the day. We want to start at the beginning of the day on the 10-minute. So that's going to be at 9:30. And now we can virtually replay the day. So that's another reason I want you all to make those notes. So as you have the notes, now you don't have to rely on what you thought you felt. Now you can look at the notes and say, oh yeah, I remember this. At 9:30, it shot up. It did this, it did that. And then you can look at your notes like, okay, I was thinking this, this, and this, if you took some, right? So, and then you hit play. Real simple. And it will play out the 10-minute time frame as long as you have selected. And we can watch and pause, right? Oops, sorry. So let's play it out. Tesla on the 10-minute time frame for today. You guys see that? Everyone see that? Is this a helpful tool for you all?
Yes.
It will be for sure. At the end of the day, if you had a rough day, even if you had a good day, if you made a good trade, I go back and watch this sometimes. I don't. Y'all can say what you want, but it's like my highlight reel. Like, yeah, I saw that. I did it, right? So I go back and look at it sometimes. I love this feature. But it'll help you with your back testing. Okay.
And what you could also do, just to add to that, King, can you hover over the Tesla icon and then go to the right where you see the pin?
Right here?
No, at the bottom where the volume and information is. Keep going to the right, right there, the pencil icon, up a little, right there. So what you can do is, while you're looking at the replay, you could type notes, right? Which allows you to you could just simply jot down what you saw, right? And then when you are looking at it from a later date, all you gotta do is click that note icon again, and then now you can pretty much look at what information you put there in reference to that specific ticker. And what I like about using that area is that it's not like date specific, meaning you have to go to a specific date in order to see it. It's just there as soon as you click it. So every time you add a new note, that note is just going to fall under the previous note, and it has a timestamp and a date stamp as well. So you could just keep building and building that note section, as much as you want. Especially if for whatever reason you don't have time to journal at that specific time when something is happening, just a little another extra tool you can use if you are as active on TradingView as many of us.
Yeah, as you guys can see, I don't have any notes because I'm a pen and paper type of guy. Lori has a question. Give me 1 second, Lori. It was a question in the chat. Neil's supposed to be handling the chat, but instead he's writing on whiteboards. So don't worry. I'll get to that, Neil. Don't worry, I got it. Ray just said, how did you get that? Oh, okay, on my alerts. So is everyone good on the replay? Lori, is your question about the replay?
Oh,
Oh, I was just going to say, it's actually not a question, but I have been using the replay a lot. And at the bottom, you can change the speed.
Yep.
So especially if you're doing like the strat, you can almost, if you slow it down, you can try to like guess how it's going to go, so it's not so fast that you can try to predict the next candle. And I think that really helps to slow it down.
I like that. I appreciate you saying that. I like that.
Oh.
And I appreciate you using it because that means you're learning.
Oh yeah, I watch it.
And let me add to that because that part right there is extremely dope. And the reason why I say that is because once you've really gotten the candles aspect down and understanding how the candles are moving, and now you're starting to see that same type of candle pattern forming because you've seen it over and over during the replay. Now when you're seeing it happening live, now you can kind of sort of predict what's going to happen next. So that's relatively dope.
Muscle memory. For sure. Hey, yeah, I appreciate you, Lori. I told you guys I learn stuff in these mentorships. I love doing them.
Yeah.
Learn
I
stuff
never even
all the
thought about
time.
that
I
until
knew about it, but I never thought to do it like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like I could slow down my highlight reel. This is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be in the dark, like, yeah.
Piggybacking on what Neil said about the notes, and you said that it's good for us to take screenshots. You can take a screenshot and put it in the notes as well.
Look at that.
Oh, so
Man, I never even noticed that too.
So y'all playing the game at a high level, huh? Okay, I see how y'all making all that money. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all making me proud. Okay.
You taught us from the best.
That's what these tools are there for, guys. We gotta use them.
Wait, what did you guys say? I didn't hear you.
Oh, you want me to repeat it? I said learning from the best.
Nothing important. Don't worry about it.
No, but you part of that, Neil. What's wrong with you? What? No, but this is good because again, this is why mindset is important. This is why I talk about it so much because it's like, oh, I can use this feature, but what if I slow it down? Dope. What if I put the screenshot at mindset? It's all about mindset, man. Because your strategy is going to be your strategy. So if we don't have any more questions about the replay feature, I'm going to show Red Ranger how to do the alerts. Everybody good on this?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So when I did the alert, if you're on a Mac, it's gonna be it's just right click. So when we set up the alert, right? Or if you want to go to the alert, you just right click on it and you hit edit. Cool. You got that, Ranger?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, cool. We're gonna mess around with alerts too in a minute. Let me look at my list and make sure I got everything I want to talk about. Okay, so no more questions, right? So I want to show you all something. I want to show you all a strategy that I use, and I recently used it on Tesla, and I am using it on Tesla. And let's go to a blank chart, and I like to call this gap sauce. Okay, it's a strategy. Say what?
Nothing. I figure out what your purple box is for.
Yeah. So in racing, there's a term called gap sauce. That's why I got that. I don't race, but I heard it. So I'm hearing people getting gapped. So what I want you all to do is go to your indicators, right? And I want you to look for the indicator called gaps. It's a trading view indicator. It's called gaps. It's this one right here. Okay. And what do we have here? So let's see if I can hide everything on here. Well, my alerts won't hide, but what do we have here? This is a gap. And okay, let's talk about gaps. Gaps, the rule with gaps is gaps usually always fill. Okay. So at some point, something happened with Tesla in November. I think we probably all remember. It shot up and it created a gap up. This is a green box for a gap up. Okay. What I like to do is I turn my gaps to purple because we have enough green and red stuff on this chart. So I like to turn my color I like to turn the box to a color that I don't see often, right? And what I like to do is play the gap. If the rule of thumb is gaps usually always fill, then you know that you pretty much have a guaranteed play. When price comes back to that gap, you have almost a guaranteed play because the gap has to fill, right? Now, does it happen right away? Tesla shows you. No. We played it was that yesterday? Yep, it came all the way down into my level. It's so funny because it came to my level and wicked it and then pushed back up. It didn't fill the gap. But let's look at the settings, okay? So when I go to gaps, go to here, I click the settings, and for me, I turn everything to purple because I don't need to know if it's a gap up or gap down. I don't care. And usually I will know based on where it's priced. You can look at it and tell that was a gap up, right? If you can't, you will be able to. So let's look at it. It's a gap up because price gapped up. It opened higher than it closed the day before. Much higher, right? So it was here at 254. The next day it opened at 275, which created a gap. And what happens when it creates a gap, there's usually a bunch of orders there that didn't get filled because instead of Tesla coming up to fill the orders, it jumped over them. Okay. And since it jumped over them, it created a gap. But now those orders are still there. Okay. So when the price comes back down, it's going to try to fill that gap and close it. Make sense? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So when you guys ask me about earnings, I tell you do not play earnings. But one thing about earnings is what? Somebody answer that question. Not Sam, not anybody that I've taught already. Someone new. What's one thing that earnings usually does? Who's raising their hand? Go ahead, Steph.
Sorry, it's not to answer the question, but I will. But I had a quick question. I wasn't able to unmute. Sorry if I missed it, but
You gotta answer
with
my question
gaps,
first.
so extreme volatility or implied volatility. So extend them longer.
Say that again.
Extend your contracts when playing earnings just because of implied volatility.
If you must play earnings,
No.
yes. You know, I'm going to always encourage you guys to not play earnings. But if you are going to hold through earnings, give yourself some time for sure.
Can I ask my question real quick, and then if there's other answers?
Oh, I thought that was your question. I'm sorry.
No. So it was about the gaps. So with gaps, is there a particular average time that gaps fill themselves, or could it be all over the place?
No, and
Like
I don't
how?
want you. I'm
Go
sorry. I
ahead.
think you got a delay. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, no. And I don't want you to assume there is one. No. Tesla, see how it came down into the gap and pushed back up? Is no real time limit on when this is going to close, right? And gaps usually always fill. Sometimes they don't. Okay.
So when you're intentionally looking for gaps, you're going back into the chart. How do you kind of, I guess you just gauge the range that's typically in to be like, okay, it's approaching a potential gap zone and then look for a play?
I'm gonna show you.
All right, cool.
So we use alerts, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I did on Tesla. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I think you're about to answer my question, but with like the gaps, especially that gap that you're highlighting there, is that considered filled?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's still there. And this is why I want you all to use the indicator. Okay. So look, what I like to do is I turn it to purple. And I turn everything to purple, the inside and the outside. Just so if you guys have ever seen my chart, you see purple on it. You're like, what is that? Gaps. This is one of my strong strategies because it is You have confirmation. The gap is confirmation. And if you play it correctly, it could be a very low risk strategy. When Oracle ran, I don't know if you guys were around when that happened. I was playing a gap. Tesla, I'm in puts right now because of a gap, because of this gap. And this is the gap that a lot of us are waiting on to fill. And Tesla is being stubborn. But it's not just Tesla, it's what's going on in the market, in the economy, in the world. Right? Tesla was supposed to continue to keep coming down, but today it did something different. So the gaps, I turn them to purple, right? And what I do is before we get to the gap, so let's say, let me try to use something different. Somebody give me another ticker. Someone answered the question. I said earnings, right? The question I asked about earnings, what do we notice? Earnings usually creates a gap up or a gap down. So I don't play earnings in that as far as like beforehand, but I will mark the gap. If I see an earnings, a gap up, a large gap up or any gap up, I am going to go and mark it, right?
That's what happened with Palantir, right?
Say what?
That's what happened with Palantir, right?
Yep, sure. I am going to mark it because usually gaps fill. And if earnings, it happens 4 times a year, right? So that gives me the opportunity to play earnings after the smoke is settled, after the IV and all of that. I'm going to wait on that gap like nobody's business, right? So let's talk about marking the gap. So I use this as kind of like training wheels. And someone give me another ticker that gapped up or gapped down, because I don't want to. Is this okay for you all to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Y'all good on this? It just looks like a lot going on.
That's good.
Okay.
UPS has a big gap.
UPS?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lynn. The ticker is UPS. Yep. Cool. Ooh, shoot. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna make some money, guys. Yeah. Man. See, I love it. I didn't even know. And that's the thing. You can find these everywhere. So when I talked about earlier that sometimes you may see me trading something random, it was a gap there. UPS, I'm coming for you, baby. I'm coming for you. Okay. So look, let's mark this gap. And we use the indicator as it's kind of like training wheels, right? So I'm going to draw a horizontal line at the top of the gap. But for me, I'm going to change it because I want it to stand out and I want it to look like nothing else on my chart so I don't get confused. I am going to, yeah, that was a great call, Sam, for real. So, but me and Lynn knows what to do. So I know what you're thinking, and I'm glad to see that you're doing it. Me and Lynn, we talked about this previously. So not UPS, but she understands gap sauce. So you create the horizontal line, and we change it to purple. And I like to change it to dotted lines, okay? Because I want it to stand out and look like nothing else. I don't care what indicator I download, I want this one to stand out, because you're gonna realize as you go and use different indicators, this stuff will run together on you, right? Cool. So I'm going to add an alert to this line here. Alert. Someone tell me well, that's a trick question, so I won't ask you all that. Let's go to the next one. Here, I'm gonna put a line. Technically, this is the bottom of the gap, and this is the top of the gap, right? So we put the line there, right? Because this was a gap down. So, well, I guess you could look at it in the other way. I don't get caught up in all of that. It's a gap, right? So we're gonna put an alert on it, right? What do you think we're gonna put here for this alert? What are we going to tell ourselves about this gap on UPS?
Gap is
Okay.
filling.
That's a good one. You can type that, but I would say what?
Bottom of the gap is not gap is filling, but the
Entering gap.
Entering gap.
Entering. Yep.
Perfect. So all of those are correct answers because it's going to trigger you to do the same thing. Okay. So if you're entering the gap field or entering gap, whatever you like to put. Me, I'm going to put it in caps because when I see these things, I want it to stand out when the alert comes, like I'm screaming at myself to get my attention, no matter what I'm doing. And then I'll put here, UPS. Whatever you want to put, has a gap or gap up to 133.73. Okay. Has a gap from 118.03 to, what is that? 133.73. Bingo. Whatever you want to put in that box is on you, okay? You can put anything in that box. But the key is to put the alert so that when price does this, right? Because they just had earnings. That's what created this gap. They had earnings on the 30th. See what I did there on the chart? I clicked that E and it's going to tell me when was the last earnings, okay? And it was a surprise beat. Cool. So we put the alert entering gap and we put it going up to the top. So what's going to happen is, had I known about this gap previously, let's see, the 27th, I would have got a ding to let me know that we're in the gap. But this is a perfect example. We're in the gap, but it hasn't filled yet, right? We're just now entering the gap. So for me, since I know the gap is there and we're entering the gap, I would be in calls. Now what? Hold on. That's crazy. No, okay. The recorder asked me to change my language. This is funny. It says it sounds like you're speaking a different language, and it circles Spanish. I guess Zoom is like, I don't understand this TA talk. I don't get it. Okay, let me change the settings back. No, we're not speaking Spanish. We're speaking money, dinero. Okay, so my bad.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So when we enter in the gap, right? We will if we're looking to play this, we're gonna buy calls, right? Where you pick the strike price and all of that is gonna be on you. It's based on the play you set up. Now, since it's a gap, for me to play it safe, because I want to give it some time, I'm going to buy some time on it. And to balance it out, I'll probably go a little bit higher in strike price. Okay. Because I want to give it time to feel. I don't care about it going in the money. So you could go 140, 136, whatever. We'll talk about strike prices next Wednesday. But either way, you're going to buy a call and give it some time because you want to give the gap time to fill. Okay. Make sense, everybody? At the top, we're going to set another alert. What do you think we're going to put here?
Puts. Gap filled.
Goodbye gap.
Gap filled.
Gap filled.
Gap filled. Gap filled is perfect because we want to know that the gap has filled, right? Because now price can do a number of things. It could keep going. It could come back down. But excuse me, we want to know when price has when the gap has been filled. So let's do this play. Y'all want to do a play? Y'all want to do it on UPS?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes, make my journal.
Class project.
Yeah, let's go.
Class project.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Loving it.
What he said.
we're gonna make it real simple. This was an earnings play. This is how we play earnings. Because remember, we're investors. We play this game from a different standpoint. We're not chasing no dang on earnings that could go either way. We let the rest of the retail traders chase that stuff. Okay?
Oh yeah.
We wait until everything, the smoke is settled, and now we come in and we just take our money. Just very simple. Earnings happened and it created a gap down, right? So now let's turn this off. Take the training wheels off and look at that. You got your own gap. Nobody even knows, right? You created that. You look like a genius. Talking to your friends, you tell them, oh yeah, UPS is probably gonna go to about 130 over the next few weeks. How do you know that? Well, the gap there. So for me, since we have this gap, we want to wait on confirmation, right? We're in the gap, and that is good that we're in the gap, but we got in the gap before, and there was some sales there, and it pushed it down, right? Same thing today. It tried to push up, but it got pushed back down, right? I wonder if there's something else prehistoric that, okay. So there's something happening here, right? We got pushed down here, got pushed down again here, right? So we're not going to just assume that the gap is going to fill. We're going to wait for confirmation. And one of the ways is here, right? Today, this was the high. We're going to set an alert there. And we're going to put a note to ourselves. What should we tell ourselves? If price breaks 119.68, what should we tell ourselves?
Thank you, Lynn.
Get in a call.
Gap started fill.
I usually
Testing resistance.
I usually will on the third line, I will drop down and I will put crossing up.
Absolutely. Crossing up here.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. I just use crossing either way, but crossing up is good because then it'll tell you that. I want you to put anything here to let yourself know that we are in the gap and start to consider calls. So I'm gonna tell you the next part of this. For me, since price came to this last point of resistance and it didn't break it, this is my confirmation. All of you all, when I see UPS at 121, you guys already know what I did, okay? I'm not going to get in here because that's not enough. But I do want to know when price has broken past this part, because once price is broken past this resistance, it's going to go look for the next level of resistance, right? But I want to be careful because right at that resistance, we have what appears to be a key level of support. See this? See these touches? That happen for a reason. Okay? Price, the buyers pushed this up here. So for me, I would even put an alert there just to give me more confirmation. But I would probably be in calls here. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Sure? Everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. So we put an alert, put whatever you want on that alert to let yourself know. UPS is on the move, trying to close that gap. That's what I would say to myself. UPS on the move, prepare for gap fill, right? Put as much information as you can in that alert so that you understand what happens. Because what if UPS comes here and does this and then closes the gap? It may be weeks from now before this gap fills. But we play this game patient. We play, like I say, this is a boring game. You play it boring to buy exciting things. So I'll wait it out. And these are my alerts. Some of you all hear me say, these are my motion sensors. This is how I know something's in my trap. These alerts are going to tell me, hey, King, it's time to hurt something or take something, or that don't sound right. I'm sorry, guys. It's time to make some money, okay? So when I know the alert goes off, it's going to tell me one thing. Then the next part is the next alert is gonna tell me another thing, and then this is gonna be confirmation. I'm gonna put right here confirmation, confirmed or confirmed calls confirmed, whatever you want to put to yourself to let yourself know to get in the calls. And this, it looks like Neil has put a play in already. Oh, 14 cents. I'm gonna buy 1 million of those. 14 cents. That's decent. Open interest on it is 2,000. Volume was 52 today. Delta is $2. Okay, so let's talk about this too. So if you look at this, is whoa, why is the bid and ask spread is wide? So that's going to be a tad bit of an issue, because you got bid at 5 and 14. But okay, either way, if let's say we took that play, right? We take that play, we get in the calls, goes to 140. I could already tell you now that if we get in here or here at 120, and this goes to 133, that's about $12 worth of delta, 12 times 2, $24 a contract we can make on this. And I'll explain delta and all of that to you all on Wednesday. But right now, I just want you to look at that play the Neil put. It's a 140 call, April 17th. Automatically, I like it's time. It's giving it time to fill. If you don't get confirmation, do not get into play, because it could come here and reject off of this level of support that is now turned into resistance and come down here, and it's not going to be pretty. We are waiting for this confirmation. Once we've gotten this confirmation, then we're going to get into calls and watch it, because of course, you know, it's like any other, it's like any other stock. I mean, it's like any other ticker. It doesn't have to exactly feel right away. It can come up, hit some sales, come back down, up, down, right? So once we're in the play, we're going to treat it like any other play, and we're going to watch it on the lower time frames. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep.
This is the play.
Yes.
At what point are we getting in UPS for calls? Someone fast, tell me now.
119.
121.57. That's the confirmation. Let's do it together. What should I put? Somebody tell me what to put. What would you all put?
Gap fill confirm.
Confirmed gap. Going for the fill.
Right, because the gap filled will be here. Okay. This is when the gap is filled, but this is going to be confirmation for calls. When we get this alert, that's the third one. This one let us know we're on the move. This one lets us know we're getting closer. And this one, okay, Stephanie, that's one. She says time to dive in. Okay. What can Brown do for you? Y'all tripping, and we're gonna make us some money. Whatever you want to put, right? It's time to dive in is a good one. She's a child in my inner mark. I'm using lingo with Wall Street. Whatever you want to put. Okay, if you have to, if you have time to dive in, maybe you put that here, but put here confirmation for calls to the upside gap fill. Okay, make sense, everybody? Do we have any questions about that yet?
Now remember, I understand everybody likes the way this play looks, but it's very, very important that you give yourself time for the opportunity to get into the play, right? Don't wait until the open bell tomorrow that you jump into this. And if for whatever reason, UPS continues to, at some point next week goes down, then as you can see, that contract is not going to be worth anything, right? So you got to make sure you wait until you hit your level of entry in order to get into something like this. So I just wanted, I put this up only so you guys can at least start to see what other people are looking at, because as you can see, over 2,000 people are already looking at this.
Yeah.
Right. So I want an additional 50 people to look at this.
Yeah, the open interest is what he's referring to.
Do you think, Neil, based on the FedEx news, that it was lower on pricing, that news would affect UPS? Do you happen to know if they follow along?
It could.
So here's the thing about FedEx, right? And especially when it comes to UPS. There are times where FedEx tanks, and then which causes UPS to tank. There are times where UPS tanks, which causes FedEx to tank. And then there's times where FedEx tanks and UPS skyrockets, right? And then vice versa, right? Only because, now granted, yeah, they're in the same sector, but because they're and I'm saying this only because I actually used to work for FedEx, right? So their competition, right? They're not looking to do business with each other. They're competing against each other, right? So someone is looking to have that upper advantage over the other, looking to whether it's to create a newer service or newer technology to help customers or whatever the case is. So because one is always looking to be ahead of the other, it can go either way, right? So you just got to be mindful of that.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you for that insider information there.
And it was funny because I'm actually in FedEx puts now.
I bet.
I jumped in with you as well. So.
Oh, okay, dope. I mean, I guess that's one way to get back at them, huh? Because, like, yeah, I left my job to short you. Oh, never mind. This is my passion talking.
I only got into puts because of something that I heard. Now, it doesn't mean that what I heard is going to reflect the stock price, but just for the sake of, listen, it could be looked at as negative news. It also could be looked at as positive news, depending on how the shareholders interpret this information, right? So, but me, again, every time I've played FedEx, I've always gotten to puts on FedEx. So that's just, I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want people thinking that I have inside information or no, it's none of that. I just keep a close ear to the streets. That's just really what it is.
Oh, sounds like inside information to me, but go off. Go ahead. Say I don't have inside information. I just got people on the inside that give me information. What?
Please, everybody, do not run to the market tomorrow and start getting puts on FedEx.
That's the definition of inside information, man. Nah, it's all good, man. So again, when we're looking at this play, everybody understands what happens?
Yes.
Cool. I don't want you all to ever ask me about another earnings play again. I just gave you one. Do not be a DGN waiting for earnings like this. What's going to happen? And 4:15, 5 o'clock call happens and you're like, oh, I got crushed. No, you let everybody else get crushed and we come clean up the mess and to collect the bags, okay?
Hey King, have you ever used like a like one of those gap fill screeners to kind of like find stuff like this?
Yeah, you could use a bar chart. I have gap ups and gap downs. I'm gonna be real with you all. Sometimes in my free time, I just turn on this indicator I got right here called Gap Sauce. Where is it? Well, it was called Gap Sauce. Maybe it's on my other computer. No, did I change it? Okay, well, this one. This layout here. I can't find my previous layout because I probably got all my gaps marked, but what did I do with it? Either way, this one, we'll name it Gap Sauce. Right? And I'll just click through the tickers looking for gaps, especially the Mag 7. Right? Nothing on Apple. Oh, wait a minute. I'll say I know it's something on Apple. There's an NVIDIA gap. And on my other chart, I already got these marked. Apple. One thing about it is we're in a very volatile time and you see price going crazy. There are going to be gaps created all the time. And again, earnings happens 4 times a year. So if you like a certain ticker, map all the gaps out. If you just want random tickers, anything you see. If I hear you all mention something, sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I don't. But what I will probably usually do is type it in here to see if there's a gap. Somebody else give me another one. Any ticker besides the Mag 7. Something you're looking at right now.
CRI.
Spell it. CRI, you said? Carter's?
Yes.
Okay. Woo! Okay. We getting money.
That's not a gap. That's a whole entire mountain.
We getting money. I tell you what, if y'all see CRI at 46 bucks, just know I'm not I got one trade. I don't have to trade a lot. Okay. So let's mark that gap. And this is one way I want you all to understand, because a lot of you all are working. A lot of you all are investors, right? Well, you are becoming investors, because we want to be investors that know how to trade. We don't want to be just day traders. We leave that for the internet. The internet is going to tell you to day trade, learn how to day trade and make $1,000 in a day. I'm gonna tell you, you can make 5,000 in a week by investing. Okay, same thing. You see how I marked that gap out that quick, and my alerts. It's almost like free money. I don't care when it happens, but what I'll do, just so I'll be abreast, boom, set an alert at the last high, set an alert here. Because as long as CRI is going to the dirt, that's fine. But as soon as it decides that it no longer wants to be a dirt puppy and it wants to try to stand back up on its own, I'll be here waiting for it. These are my motion sensors. It's going to tell me, hey, King, somebody's getting close to one of your traps. And I'm going to go over there and I'm going to take this $6 move and make money. Cool? Everybody understand that?
Yep, yep.
Good. That was a good call, Bobby.
Gotcha.
Everybody can eat off of that one. Anybody have any questions? Oh, we got a question in the chat. King, once we get confirmation alert to enter the gap, we'll enter a leap in case it bounces. I don't think I understand. King, once we get the confirmation alert, yes, it don't have to be a leap. Just give yourself some time, and we'll look at contracts Wednesday on how to decide how much time, okay? But I would say a swing. A leap is going to be further out, like a year, 9 months to a year. Depending on where price is at and the gap, you don't have to go out for a year. If you want to, you can. But if we just playing a gap field, I'm gonna give it 30 plus days at least, depending on how the stock is moving. Cool. Lori, what's up?
I just wanted to confirm, so when the gap gets filled, you're just gonna get out of the play? Or do you just watch it, or what do you typically do?
I typically get out before it fills.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you asked me that. I don't wait. I'm not waiting on the field. That's just my particular strategy. I just like to get out a level before.
Okay.
So here or here, because I just like to sell into the momentum. I don't like to wait until we reach levels that everyone else is looking at to sell, because it's going to be hard to try to. I like to sell into the win. That way I can get the most from my products, because they're in high demand.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Here and here, I'm telling you, I will watch it though on the lower time frames to see if we got enough juice to keep going. And then I'll probably be out. And somebody may say, but it ran all the way up to here. I don't care. I made the money already and I made it stress-free. I don't know what's gonna happen after the gap fills, okay?
Hey, King, is there a particular? Never mind. Never mind. I see it now that I kept looking at the chart. Never mind.
Okay, cool.
Here's
See, Big, you see that? That's how you do it. You start a question and you answer it yourself. Okay?
I'll try and get there. Thanks.
It's all good. Do we have any more questions about gap sauce?
Well, I just want to piggyback real quick, King, here's a cool tip, right? So let's say, for example, if you're going to play CRI or if you're going to play the gaps for UPS, just make sure on a day-to-day basis that you're checking the news. Since you're already going to be on TradingView, just simply go into the ticker and click right there, right below the stock price, and you'll see information in regarding to current events in regards to that specific ticker, right? It just makes it that much easier, just in case you're not able to physically watch it on your chart. So just simply take a peek. Okay, this is what happening with UPS today. Okay, oh, this is great news. This is definitely going to push the stock up today, or has the potential to push it up in the near future.
Let's take that a step further and make it easier to do. We're
Hey,
gonna
can I ask one question before you do move on real quick?
Yeah, I'm still here. Go ahead.
All right, so that bottom line of the gap where you marked is like your exit point. Is there a reason that you chose the like the body of those lower candles instead of the like the bottom wick of those?
No, I chose the wick. Can't see it, but it's the wick here. See it?
Okay, you chose a closer candle. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
I was like those lower ones that were a little bit I guess further in the past than those candles. Is like the spot.
Yeah, see, this will be considered a key level of support. Look how many times it touched. Right? So
Okay.
I probably would be watching it really closely here. And this one I would be on the 45-second or the 1 minute to see if we're gonna push through.
Okay.
Oh, Vic said, can someone share? It's called gaps. Gap sauce is what I called it. It's called gaps. Here it is, Vic. It's a trading view indicator.
Shit, thanks. I thought it was another indicator.
No, I'm sorry.
Can I
Yeah.
say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I also utilize the gaps for to buy stocks at a better price. Say if I see a gap, like for instance, I did it for a BBAI. I saw there was a gap, and I didn't buy until it's closer to the gap now. So I'm planning to buy it later. I put an alert, so you get a better price on
For sure.
stock.
One thing, and what she's saying is, when you see the gap and it's getting close to the gap, you could assume that it's going to try to fill. So you already know that the key to this is that you have more layers of confirmation of where price is going. We know that if CRI gets back up to this way, it's probably going to try to fill that gap. So we probably going to get a nice move on it. Okay, whether we want to buy stocks or options. The key to gaps is that it's almost a guarantee that you're gonna get that price movement. And I love to show you guys this as newer traders because this is how we play the game safer, right? Because not only do we have our levels, our EMAs, we have all the other stuff, but now we have a gap that's saying, yeah, if we get here, we're gonna continue to be bullish. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create. Let's create a new watch list. And let's call it Gap Sauce. I don't know why it's not pulling up for me on this computer, but I'm still learning how to work this thing. It's a Mac, so bear with me. So we create a new list, right? First thing that's going on that list, First thing that's going on that list is CRI. Next, we're gonna put UPS, Tesla, because those are all places we confirm gaps, right? So when we get ready in the morning, like Neil said, we're gonna take a look at them. We come to our list, boom. And now we can just click through them. Okay, what's CRI? Okay, you're still down. UPS, oh, UPS is on the move. Okay, where are my alerts? 1, 2. Okay, confirmation at 121. So you could write, you're gonna have a note there for yourself. But like I was telling AC, I just know sometimes. So I glance 121 in the back of my mind. I know UPS above 121. I need to start getting ready to load the chamber. Okay, I'm on the daily. I don't see gaps. What am I missing? What ticker is that, Steph?
Same one that you're on. Even the last one you're on, I'm not seeing it. I see a bar that's filling it.
UPS?
I'm on PRI right now, but I can go to UPS.
Okay.
And I'm clicking on the daily as well, and I literally see the same screen, but I have a red bar that's down. It connects.
Do this. Can you share your screen for me?
I can. I'm on my phone and on my computer.
Okay, well, try to describe it to me exactly what you
Look
see.
at the. Can you see in the chat? I put the photo in there.
Okay, let me see.
That one's CRI.
All right, I'm blowing it up now.
Okay.
CRI. So again, this is our watch list. This is why we created it, so we can just click through, okay? That's all I was showing you guys about the watch list. So now we go right back to CRI. We have our gap marked there because our gap indicator is turned off. So we have it on. You're on the daily.
Oh, I see what your issue is, Steph. So it could be one of your other indicators, or maybe your overlays that are interfering with the gap in order for it to show. Because you see that message, that dialog box at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, read that.
Yeah.
So that's just gaps, and I started a fresh slate. So and so those are the only two indicators, volumes and gaps. I just turned them off, and I still see the chart, the bar.
What does that message say?
Oh, it was saying no gaps identified. So kind of agreement with what I see, but that was from the gaps indicator.
Okay, I don't know what.
I'm saying the same thing, and I can share if you'd like.
Please.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Go to the top and click CRI. And I just want to make sure, click on it, that you have the right one. Click the one at the top. The first one. Okay,
Yeah,
you
that's the one.
got Akinashi candles on. And that's what these are. Click on that. There you go. Candles. Come down. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Steph, for
Thank you, Steph.
pointing it out. Be careful, you're sharing your screen.
Yep.
There you go. Steph, is that what was going on with yours? I can't see your entire thing, but it looks
Yeah,
like
no. So that helped, but are you just using the hollow to identify the gaps and then using the volume otherwise?
Well, I personally use the hollow.
I use the hollow
use
candles.
the hollow candles when I have an indicator that I need to see that's behind the candle. So that's really the only time I use the hollow candles. But other than that, I usually use the regular, either volume candles or what's the other candle, or the Hakanashi candle.
Volume candles or just the regular candles for me.
Okay. Yeah, that helped me. Thank you.
Yeah, so just make sure you guys, I'm glad that happened because we need to know that that's a possibility. Everybody just click on regular candles, okay? Make sure we're on the regular chart. Cool. Do we have any more questions about gaps?
Sorry, just to reconfirm on CRI, the gap gets filled at 52.
Oh yeah. 5204 is the top of the gap. But just to be sure, turn the training wheels back on. Okay. Got it. There's another gap up here.
You're not showing your screen, King.
Oh, I'm
Your
sorry.
screen's not showing.
Okay. My bad, guys. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Another gap up here too. But just to be sure. Turn the training wheels back on. Cool. Bruh, it is 8:30. I didn't realize it was this late. Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? I
mean,
would
generally?
ask comments or concerns, but I'm not concerned about your comments. So, no. Any questions or concerns besides Vic?
No, give me one more, please.
Bruh, do you know my ex or something? Is this like a prank? Is it like torture? Who sent you? Come on, Vic. Go put the nail in the coffin, man. You got one more
I'm
question?
trying.
You got one more question?
Yeah, please. The one I'd saved up from this morning, actually.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He had a question brewing. Wait a second.
You are saving questions for me, man.
Yep.
Wow. What country you in again, Vic?
I'm in India right now.
I don't know what type of sense of humor y'all got, but I'm gonna tell you something. All right. Come on.
It's
No,
5 a.m. here, but it's 5 a.m. here. I've been awake since like 4 o'clock.
and you got all this energy.
Yeah, I was groggy in the beginning. I was really sleepy. But yeah, now I'm
Oh,
all
that's
up.
why you were so quiet.
Yeah. Thank you for the energy, though.
Yeah, all right. Come on.
So basically, because of this Tesla, I've been watching the screen all day for the past 2 days. And I remember what you were saying about ideally you want to be in a position where you come in the morning because the volume's higher for the first hour of the day. You want to make your play that in those first hours, in the first hour, first 2 hours, ideally. So, and I know that's what you do. So I'm trying to understand how do you position yourself to play in the first hour? What do you do to position yourself in that first hour? Like, is the planning that goes behind the stocks that you look at, or what's the mindset and the the strategy, if you don't mind sharing, or whatever you can share?
Vic, where have you been? I do everything that we talked about up until this point. It's week 3. It's the end of week 3, Vic. So pre-market analysis is gonna be one, right? We're gonna check the pre-market, we're gonna check the futures, we're gonna try to get an idea for which way we're gonna try to find momentum, right? Once we find momentum in that particular ticker, then we're gonna go to the chart and assess how we want to play that ticker for that day. Okay.
No, I got you. I'm with you on that. I'm just trying to understand how do you position yourself to play just for the first hour of the day? Because what I've been doing generally, I come into my pre-market and I pick a ticker and then I'd probably analyze it and set my play for the day. But I'm trying to understand how do you position yourself? Because you just play for the first hour of the day, ideally.
Most
So is there
times
anything?
I'm trying to be done by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
If I'm day trading, but I don't day trade every day. It's just I'm on day trading with you all in the mentorship on Fridays just to help you all kind of it's the end of the week, try to give you guys something, instruct you guys on something pretty good to get you some money. Because I'm there to kind of help you through it.
Thank you.
But yeah, what is going to boil down to is everything that I did maybe the night before or the weeks before. I'm going to check my watch list. Like you guys saw, I had a watch list for gaps. So I'm going to look through that and try to figure out, okay, any movement on my gap sauce plays. Okay. And then I'm going to take a mental note. And when I get ready to play, I'm going to wait for confirmation. Once I get confirmation, I'm going to stick to the plan that I came up with previously. And I'm not going to deviate. So I'm going to stick to the plan. I'm going to get in where I said I'm going to get in, and I'm going to get out pretty much where I said I'm going to get out, whether I win, lose, or draw, whether it goes my way or not. Cool?
Okay. Yeah, and it's mainly day trading or swings mainly that you look at?
Me personally, I like more swings. In the market like now, sometimes I've been day trading more because the opportunity's been there. Excuse me. But based on your schedule, you got to kind of figure that out on, what kind of trader you're going to be on your own. And I'm glad you said that because Serginia has a document that she wants to share with you all, and it's kind of like a Serginia, are you able to come on and talk about that?
Thanks,
Yes,
King.
I am.
How you doing tonight?
So I'm doing well. How are you? Now, what am I talking about? I'm sorry, I was like in the middle of a conversation when you called my name out.
Oh, so you should have just stayed on mute. You're unavailable at
Sure.
this point. No, it's a she sent me a document that'll help you kind of figure out what type of trader you are. And she wants to share it with you all. She's probably gonna post it in the Discord. And it's a series of questions that you ask yourself to kind of come up with what type of trading style you're going to use. I think it's a dope document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So with that document, it will really just kind of break down what kind of trader who you are. Cause I know when we're in these different groups, we kind of like follow what everybody else is doing. And we might try to day trade, we might try to swing trade, but that's not necessarily what really talks to us. So I'm gonna share it in the group so that everybody could kind of analyze themselves to figure out what kind of trader they are before they actually start taking any additional trades, because you may come to find out that you're not really a day trader and you've been trying to day trade and that's why you've been losing so much money.
Yeah. Well, spoken for real. So that's I can't put it in better words myself. Me, to answer your question, Vic, I am more of an investor than a trader. I like to look at everything from an investing standpoint. I'm an investor that knows how to day trade, that knows how to trade. But that's why I like to zoom out and I use different strategies like gaps and things like that because I'm in no rush. Um, and just from an investor mindset, I don't mind waiting for confirmation. I don't have to trade every day to make money because I don't look at what I made per day. I look at what I made per quarter. Okay.
Epic. Thanks, bud. That's what I wanted.
Cool, cool. I appreciate you saving that question for me, Vic. Thanks.
I got you. I'll save some for next week as well.
I did want to say something else to the cohort in general. So I know Marquise had mentioned a few books that we should read, which I started reading some of them, and then I started reading a few other books. I was wondering, did anybody want to like start like a book club where we could discuss the topics that we go over in the books? Because I figure if we talk about these different books that we have access to, we might all be able to share different aspects of it.
I think that's a
Yep, sounds
phenomenal.
good.
That's dope.
Well, that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
So
That's dope. That's really dope.
All right,
yeah,
I'll be in charge of putting that together. So that way we can really kind of like pick a book, go over it. And I know like even books like the Candle book and stuff like that, just being able to break it down and understand what it's saying, I feel like it's going to elevate our trading to a different level.
absolutely. I gave her that idea earlier, guys. But moving right along. No, I didn't. She came up with that, and I think it's a phenomenal idea. And this is why I tell you all, talk to each other. Form a team. It's a cohort for a reason, right? Form an alliance, and things like that are gonna keep you all sharp because this is gonna be a long journey, and you just don't know how someone else may know something that you don't. It's all about perspective. I promise you, every time we do these mentorships, I learn something new from Mark and Neil. And it's just the way it works. Because this is how it goes. The more you grow, the more the team grows. So as I figure out things or learn more things, I can share them with you all or the other mentors, and same thing and vice versa. So Yasmin said, I'm so happy I joined this. I am happy that you joined this too. And I'm happy that you all are are excelling. You guys are actually learning and partaking in this stuff, and you guys are talking to each other, most of you all that have the time. But just based on your questions and comments, I know that you're learning. Okay. And if you're not learning, I don't understand how, because Vic has asked me every question he could think of. So you guys got a whole cheat sheet. No. Hey Vic, I really want to take time to tell you I really appreciate your sense of humor, man. I'm glad that you are able to understand that this is all out of love. And I just do this to keep it going, man. It's 6 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock. Some of us been at work all day. So I just try to keep the humor going, because we don't have charts to look at. We don't have trays to chase. It's just a blank screen, me talking about mindset. So
No, I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much. I'm growing through this, and I think the best thing for me is growing through it with the community at the end of the day, instead of reading books all day or just going to like YouTube videos. This makes so much more of a difference.
this
Like
is
literally, it comes down to people.
this is why we did this, right? Mark came up with the idea to do a mentorship. We talked to him about it previously, and then we all joined together because this is what's effective. So when all of you all heard me say this on Fridays. I love the mentorship because it's an intimate setting. It's this, is that. Now it's not fluff. I don't have a sales tactic or anything. I'm just trying to tell people, come in here and get the game, because we're giving it. And it's in the way that we create these settings, right? It's intimate. You can ask a question. You can hear what is going on here, this and that. Would you all agree? Do you guys, somebody else besides who's been talking to me all night, turn on the mics and talk to me.
100%.
100%. So you guys agree that this is the better way of learning. This is a good environment for learning. Let me say that.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. It's like a classroom.
Exactly. But we're all adults and we can say what we want. So, and at the end of it, we make money, right? So this is why we do it, guys. So if we don't have any more questions.
And I just want to give you your flowers, King, because you're doing a phenomenal job. I come from the corporate training world a little bit. I dip my toes in there, and you would knock them off their feet any day. Your attentive listening skills, your attentive listening skills, and the way that you can tell that you actually listen, not for the question, but for the concern on the other side is head on. So I think that's, what just gives it like, okay, we're going to get to the bottom of it, because King is understanding the concern behind the question, and you have such a way of delivery that it just really kind of lets the fear off so that we can open up to understand.
Look at King cheesing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sad that
agree.
we're hanging up the call right now. I'm gonna have to listen to the tapes over and over, because you're doing an amazing job.
I second that.
Oh, I'm cheesing, Dave, because I don't want y'all to see my tears. Trying to keep them in my eyes.
Someone's blushing.
No, for real. And Catherine is smiling so wide. I know you said something good, because she's smiling hard.
No, I second all of that. I thought about it a few times. You're an excellent educator. Both of you are.
Thank you.
But this has been very easy to understand. Something that's extremely complicated when you go out into the world and try to source information on your own and synthesize it all. It can just be super overwhelming and demotivating. So this has been a complete 180 for me, and I really appreciate both of you.
I greatly appreciate you saying that.
King is an amazing individual.
Say what?
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and some of you all know, some of you all don't know. It took a lot to get me to start teaching. It took a lot out of the group, and some of you all messaged me privately and on the live, and got me to start doing this, and I love it. I really have found a passion. I really have found, I think, my purpose. So I really have a lot of, I really enjoy these. And that's why when I say that stuff on Friday, and I'm telling other people getting a mentorship, because I love it, and this is what we're doing, I'm not making it up. this is man, this thing has become very enjoyable. I enjoy this more than trading. I'll be real with you guys. So especially spending this time with you all, and that's why I like to choose the nights because everything is not fresh, but there's no real distractions, and I like to keep the humor going because that'll keep your minds going and you won't just get bored. But also, like I told you all, you may not remember what I said, but you're going to remember how you felt. And usually, a laugh is a good way to trigger some emotions. So I really appreciate you all. If we don't have any more questions or comments and concerns, I am going to cry. Nah. No, I'm gonna call my mom. My mom been telling me for a long time that she knew I was a born teacher as a kid. I just thought I talked a lot. I didn't know what that meant, but
That makes sense.
thank you all for the confirmation, though, for sure. And I'm very fortunate to have met brothers like Neil and Mark to kind of pull it out of me because they know they have to talk to me a few times. I don't like coming on camera. I don't like talking to people or none of that. But I am fortunate to have my team, and this is why I want you all to develop the same thing. And Friday, when we drop the new mentorship, I want to hear all of this stuff. I want y'all to tell these people he's not trying to upsell you. He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's about impact. And if I can take another group of people and another group and another group and another group, that's what I'm doing it for. I've already figured out how to print money. I want to figure out how to change lives.
Yeah. That's it right there. Right there.
Your natural gift.
What'd you say?
I would also
add, go ahead.
You have a natural gift for this. A natural gift for this. You're very welcoming. You're inviting. The fact that you're funny while you're doing it, it helps tremendously. It definitely eases the tension. And I just find it so enjoyable. Real talk. And I knew that from the first time I seen you on the Friday Lives and I seen you talking. And the way you spoke to people, I said, nah, this dude is for real, man. I could tell that, if this is my personal opinion, if we were around each other, we'd be friends. We'd be good friends.
Yeah, I think so too. I've already picked up on that.
You're easy like, you know what I mean?
For sure. There's only one person I wouldn't really be friends with, and I think we all know who that is.
Don't say that.
No, what's funny is me and Vic would probably be great friends. For sure. Me and Vic will go, we're gonna go slide on Bobby and see what he got going on over there. Cause he's always moving around. No, but if you guys don't have anything else, we can wrap it up. It's 8:45.
I would say this before you go. For anybody who has not spoke or feels like they're still confused in the background, rewatch this video about 10 times because you just made all your mentorship money back off this gap thing alone. Because if you heard me say about that gap when I played Palantir, it was because of this. It was because me and King done did this. And King done taught me these gaps. And I was like, okay, I know how to place myself. And that's how I made 300% on a Palantir gap.
Yep. Yeah, me and Serginia worked her tail off to understand this game. I mean, can I tell them how long you worked at it?
Absolutely.
Serginia booked calls with me every day of the week and twice on Saturday. No exaggeration. She said, I have to understand this. And she did that for a very long time. And man, I'm so proud of where she's at. It's crazy. Yeah, we spent.
And listen, I don't even fail to realize that I didn't listen to most of the things King said. King told me not to trade. I traded and lost money. King told me not to overdo it. I overdid it, blew my account. So I literally went through all of it. So listening to King is clutch. Like when he say don't do it, get your mindset right, it's necessary.
For sure.
And listen, I'll add to it myself. Like King talked me off the ledge from 0 DTEs.
Bruh.
Like I was faithfully every day. Hey Neil, what you doing? I'm in the 0DTE. What? What? Yeah, he is the reason why I am gaining more because I'm not playing the zero DTEs.
It's not necessary, guys. Spend a little bit more money and buy some time so you can have time to make decisions. That's the key. You just have to play this game from an investor standpoint. If you always remember that you're an investor and not a trader, you're gonna be okay. Traders are who they trick. They trick traders every day. Traders are the ones blowing up accounts and doing all this other stuff. You all were traders before this, but when you leave this, you need to think about this from an investor standpoint. And the market doesn't control me. I control the market. I pay for everything in my life, my mom's life, my wife's life, whoever's around me's life out of the market, right? Because I'm here to invest, not gamble. It's not a game for me, right? And it doesn't have to be. Literally, you can only play gaps. From here on out, you don't even have to be the smartest trader in the world. You can only play gaps and make your money. So, with that being said, I don't have words to express how much I appreciate you all. I'm enjoying this. I hate that the 4 weeks goes so fast. I mean, I do have one-on-ones if you guys need more help. And I don't know if that sounds like an upsell or something. Whatever. I just like teaching. So if y'all give me the opportunity to teach, I'm gonna do it for sure. But I greatly appreciate you all. And I hope to see some of you all prospering. And I know it's gonna happen because it's what's been happening. And just don't be hard on yourselves. Keep the mindset. Even when you think you want to do something exciting, say, you know what? I'm gonna be boring and I'm gonna go and buy something exciting. That's what I do. Because I've been disciplined today, now I can go and buy this timepiece or this whatever I'm looking at to make myself feel good. Okay. Cool. Well, good night, guys. And it was another great session. And I know if UPS gets to whatever price we looked at it, UPS, what we say, 121?
121.
121.65. Y'all better make some money. Y'all better DM me and say, yeah, I did it too. Okay. All right, y'all. Good night. Talk to y'all
Have a
later.
good night. Thank
Good
you.
night. Have a good one. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Oh, look at all that talking at the end. Yeah, you get them the gap sauce, they start talking.
What's up, Jess? How you doing, Jess?
Right, that's a new person.
That's a new
The
face.
camera's coming on.
Marvin, what's up, dude?
What's